was held downtown Kingston at the Jamaica Conference Center and was a major success. This year it's going to be in Montego Bay at the Wexford Court on October 8th. He joins us tonight to talk about the fair this year and to remind us about the value of of getting scholarships to the United States or in affordable scholarship situations. And she joins us tonight. Keishia, thanks for joining us. We also have with us Kerron Stewart. Everybody knows Kerron Stewart, Olympian, world champion, silver medalist, Olympic silver medalist, one of the fastest women of all time. She joins us as well because I think she'll be participating in this convention this year. Keishia, thanks for joining us, and Kerron, thanks for joining us as well.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so Keishia, start with me. The convention is on October the 8th at the Wexford Hotel in Montego Bay. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So the convention this year will be at the Wexford Hotel in Montego Bay, and it actually starts at 8 a.m. in the morning, and the convention will pretty much be an information session just like the one we had in Kingston. The information session will cover like the NCAA compliance and the Clearinghouse and Eligibility Center, SAT, ACT requirements, other things like college admission process for international students, and the Division I, Division II, and NAIA track and field standards. So also what coaches look for when they're recruiting athletes. Another thing that was one of the things that most students asked questions about at last year's convention was the subject requirements and what they need in order to pretty much qualify for scholarships academically. We also talked about other process like the WES, which is how their transcripts get evaluated into the U.S. system, their I-20s, what to do, what to look for, because it's pretty much their contract, and the CVIS, and just a visa process application in order to get them off to college. The latter portion of the convention will be a college fair where students will kind of get an opportunity to talk to coaches one-on-one and college representative, and they'll also have an opportunity, just as last year, to complete application online or inquiry cards, and those will be mailed off by us to the respective colleges.
What was the feedback last year to those who turned up at the convention downtown?
I mean, I think everyone had a great time. I mean, the kids were, we try to make it an interactive session. I know it was a lot of information, and they had a lot of questions. It was really refreshing to know that all of the athletes who turned up were just so very much engaged, and that they were so interested in all these opportunities. I mean, we had, as an incentive, we had like the first 50 people who signed up received either spikes or tennis shoes. And so that kind of really got them excited about coming as well. And this year we're doing the same thing. We're giving out special gift packages for the first 20 students who actually sign up. But they, all in all, they loved the experience. They spoke very positively about it. And a lot of the athletes, and that's one of the reasons we're having it in Montego Bay, is that a lot of the athletes went back to their schools. We had a small group that came from Western Jamaica, and they talked about how their friends or their teammates did not get the opportunity to come because of either financial difficulties or because the event was so far away. So we really wanted to offer them that same opportunity as well.
So, Kerron, what role do you play in the convention this year? I know I was supposed to be a part of last year, but what are you going to be doing this year? Will you be wanting to go with Keishia and the company?
I won't be in Montego Bay or really a part of it, but I understand the process of leaving Jamaica to come to the US to go to school, and it's a very tedious process. So if you have people who are willing to mentor you and to help you with this process to make it easier, I think it's a good initiative, and I just commend them on what they're doing.
And of course, having gone through the experience of having gone to Auburn, can you share some of that experience for those who might be listening who might want to understand how this convention will help their lives become a lot more easier getting into a scholarship opportunity into the United States?
Well, my experience is one that I would never change. I would do it all over again if I have to. But what this program offers is something that was never offered to me. And they're basically telling you the rules, and helping you to make your adjustment a lot easier. And I think that's a great thing. And you can never deny information. Information is always good, and it's good for you to know what you're getting into. It's more than just a scholarship, but we're talking about you're leaving your family, you're leaving your comfort, what you know and what you're used to, and going to a new country. Some of these kids don't have family members here, so if they can go and learn and get that information ahead of time, then it will help to make that adjustment a lot easier.
Well, Keishia, so remind us again, what time did it start, of course, and what are the different segments that are involved in this Scholarship and Athletics Convention and College Fair? Last year you had some pretty interesting speakers. Will it be the same again this year?
Yes, of course. We're having the same speakers this year. We're going to have someone from NCAA that will talk about compliance and the clearinghouse, and someone talk about just the college admission process, just the basics of what colleges look for in terms of academics, in terms of college interviews, what they need to do to prepare. In the U.S., student athletes start preparing as soon as ninth grade. As soon as they get into high school, they start preparing for college. And that's a big thing that they push here. They have a lot of college fairs. I mean, we have college fairs from students in eighth grade all the way up. And, it's actually quite interesting that we're having the college fair in Jamaica in October as well, because here in the U.S., October is college month, and that's when most coaches start going out looking for athletes. Colleges start their recruiting process. So it's very important that the student athletes in Jamaica, that is a great population here in the U.S. in colleges as well. That helps to diversify a lot of college campus. It's good for them to start knowing what the process is and just start getting in line, because it's very competitive to get into college here, and they are a part of that competition. And if they prepare themselves well, they can make it a lot more competitive for even the student athletes here as well, because they have so much to offer. The convention will start at 8 o'clock in the morning. Like I said before, the information session is in the morning, then we break for lunch, and then the latter portion is the college fair. The event is free for all athletes, all student athletes. Last year we stuck to track and field because we realized that the Kingston and the corporate area they have a lot of track and field athletes, and so we kind of stuck to track and field athletes only. But this year, because we're on the Western Jamaica, and I know that they don't typically get all the opportunities there, we're opening it for all athletes of every sport, soccer, tennis, whatever, volleyball, track and field, all the sports, all athletes. And we're not just limiting it to athletes as well, but students who are seeking to obtain, say, maybe academic scholarships in the U.S., we want them to come out as well. We're welcoming them to come out just to get information also about different college options. And
that's very interesting, because it was something that came up last year. Somebody had asked me, in fact, several people had asked me to get on the interview about whether or not it was available to athletes from other sports as well. But that actually, is actually quite interesting that that's happening now, because there was a young basketball player here last year. I remember his mother called me immediately after the show, and she asked me if that opportunity would be available to her son. Subsequently, however, I think they did work out a scholarship situation for him. So that was pretty good. But I'm sure there are other kids right now who probably take advantage of that as
Yes, and that's one, and like I said, that's one of the reasons we definitely came back and identified the gap, and we wanted to make sure that no one felt left out. Definitely want to offer all athletes opportunity. We don't want anyone to have a blighted future, and we want them to know that there are different options, because at the end of the day, we want all of the students to be successful and go back and just contribute to their communities. So we want every student athlete to come out, and again, not just a student athlete, because this is also important for student athletes who are pursuing a degree, a bachelor's degree in the U.S. For maybe different majors and may not necessarily be an athlete. We want them to come out as well, because there are colleges that offer academic scholarships as well. So we want them to come out and get the information.
All right, Keishia, thanks for joining us. Of course, Kerron, thanks for joining us as well. We're virtually out of time here. But certainly, Keishia, I think what I'm going to do, just to help to get the word out here, I'm going to see if we can get you onto one of the other shows during the coming week on Nationwide Radio here. So
Great.
that we'll be able to reach even more people.
Okay, thank you so much. And before I go, let me say I want to just thank everyone who have been so supportive. I want to thank the Wexford Hotel. They've been really, really supportive. And I want to thank Miss Charlton, who is a part of the J3A, and Dwayne Richards, who have been working tirelessly with us to make this happen. So just thank you to everyone.
He's sitting right next to me, actually.
Oh, he is. Great. Well, Dwayne, thank you so much. I know you've put in a lot of legwork for us in Jamaica, so thank you so much. It's really appreciated.
Yeah, no problem.
And thank you, Leighton. I mean, you've done a whole lot for us as well. Thank you so much. I remember last year when we met as well at the reception that we had. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, same here. Well, tell you what, so we're going to try and arrange for maybe one of the morning shows next week to have you on. So I'll let you know what that information is once I discuss it with your producers, so you'll be able to have that kind of exposure during the course of the week so that you get as many people turning out as possible.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much, Kerron, for endorsing our program. I'm sure it will benefit a whole lot of students.
Take it easy, Kerron. Thanks for joining us as well, and then congrats on another good year representing Jamaica as well. Huh?
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to go straight into Guinness ticket giveaway. We have a few minutes to go, doing 5 minutes, and this is the Melbourne Cricket Club's fish fry, and it comes on Friday, September 7th.